Alright, let's see. How can I get this to work here? Alright. So welcome to Gravity Consultant. My name is Shane. And in today's video, because it's Friday, I thought I would just tell a story today. There was a comment made in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in. One of the new members of the accelerator program said that he was a little bit nervous about doing role plays. So I messaged him and I said it's actually perfectly normal to be nervous, and don't worry about messing up. In fact, I try to mess up in my role plays as much as I can. I let it just flow from me naturally. I mess up naturally. The reason is I want to screw up in the role plays so that I can minimize the mistakes that I make in an actual call. This is also why I've created a YouTube channel. If you want to build up your self-esteem, you're going to let it get torn down at the beginning and then it'll build itself back up. But if you want to work on your self-esteem, create a YouTube channel and put yourself out there. Let people comment. Don't turn off the comments. Turn on the comments and let people comment on your videos. Let you know that you suck. Your presentation is boring. How you carry yourself. Your posture is all wrong. How you inflect your words is all wrong. Your hands are dry. Like, I've heard it all. It's actually amazing. I used to get comments on, you say and too much. Possibly. But what I'm learning is to be confident for who I am. And that shouldn't matter to anyone else. Like, I really don't care what anyone else says about me, because what matters is what's inside. If you believe that, I have some water to sell you. I think salespeople are probably the most sensitive people on the planet. Your price for your service is too much money. My price for my service is too much? How much too much is it? How about I give you a discount? I know it was supposed to be $6,000. Would you settle for $2,000? How about $1,000? You know what? I will do it for free. I think we're too soft. We're hard on ourselves, but we're too soft on our prospects because we're willing to nickel and dime ourselves. I'm going somewhere with this, in case you're wondering. If you're looking for bells and whistles on this channel, you're not always going to get that. You might want to go to another video. But if you're new to the whole inbound closing world and sales and all that kind of stuff, there might be a gem every once in a while in one of these videos if you stick around. So, where was I going? Oh, building up your confidence. That's why I created this YouTube channel, was to stumble my way through, get subscribers and all that kind of stuff, and build a bit of a following, really to help me be a better person, to help me communicate on a higher level. And that could be subconsciously, whatever it is. So that's why I created this channel. And I want to be able to share all the ups and downs. And I'm going to share a story that I don't think I've shared for a little while, but this is a little bit, I don't always feel comfortable sharing these stories, but here we go. Anyways, I remember working for a coffee company for a couple of years. I was doing okay. Wasn't the best salesman, but I was doing okay. And I remember being recruited from an agency that was working downtown, and they were actually they're a consulting firm, and they actually were a recruiting firm, and they basically recruited engineers. So they brought me on board to recruit engineers, even though I said I have no idea how to recruit an engineer. And they're like, it's okay, we'll train you. So I gave notice, left my work, went over to them, worked downtown, and this was like one of the best jobs that I ever had. It was amazing. They paid me way more money than what I was making, and all I had to do was like make 100 phone calls a day. I'm like, okay, I could do that. So they recorded everything, documented everything. They had a software, I forget what the software was called, Max or something. It wasn't Salesforce. And so I would make 100 phone calls a day at least. And I just went through a list. I created my own list, and then they had some lists that you can call upon where there were people that just needed follow-up and all that stuff. So my job was basically to book appointments. So I would do that. So after a few days, I was able to book an appointment, and then I would have the owner or the partner come with me on a call, and they would do the presentation, all that. So that was my job, was to get an appointment for them. And then I would sit in on the appointment, because eventually I would be doing the deals as well. So I did that, and the next week I got one appointment a day booked. So I would call all morning, and then in the afternoons we would go to 1 or 2 appointments. So it's basically 2 appointments a day I would book. Cold call with engineers, people I never even had an idea about. And then every Friday we would go into the boardroom and have a meeting and do a little bit of training, and we would listen mostly to videos or audio clips of other salespeople and that kind of stuff. But the training wasn't so much what to say or anything like that. It was just call these people. So anyways, I remember one Friday being called in, and we're having another training meeting, and the boss comes over and it's like, hey, in a half an hour, you want to come into the boardroom? And I'm like, yeah, cool. Because usually they take about an hour, and then you go for lunch, and then you take off and go on your appointment or back on the phone, all that kind of stuff. So I went into the boardroom, sat down, waiting for everyone to sit around the table as usual. And I remember the boss got up and went to the door and closed the door. I'm like, oh, that feels kind of strangely uncomfortable. And he sat down by one of the other recruiters, and he said, I'm afraid we're gonna have to let you go, Shane. And I was like, wait a minute, I just showed a picture to my wife of downtown Calgary last night, and I went, this is like the most amazing job that I've ever had. And I was so happy working downtown. Every Thursday we would go on the bacon run through the +4 or plus whatever they call it, and you can connect all through downtown by not even going outside. And Thursday was bacon day, so we'd go to one shop and they would actually have a ton of bacon that you could buy. So that was fun. So yeah, he said, yeah, we're gonna have to let you go. And I said, can I ask why? And they're like, nope. No, it's within our contract that we don't have to let you know. It's only been 3 weeks. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. I've been booking appointments for you, and I booked 2 a day, and you took the appointments, and that was what we agreed to. So I said, so I don't get any feedback or, what I did right or wrong or whatever. And he's like, no. In fact, I'm just going to walk you over to your laptop. You can grab your things, and then I'll walk you to the elevator. It's like, whoa. I looked at the other person, and she just kind of had a glazed look over her eyes. So whatever. Got up, went to my laptop, grabbed my belongings, and went to go to the closet to grab my jacket. And he said, no, it's okay. It was pretty nice out. So he said, don't worry about it. I'll get Carrie to bring your jacket over to your house later today or tomorrow. I'm like, okay. So walked me to the elevator, and that was it. No goodbyes, nothing. Just went in the elevator and went downstairs to the coffee shop and had to rethink my life. And all I could think of was I just lost my job. I quit the other job to come here. Now I'm unemployed after 3 weeks. And I was looking at the trains going by, and I'm like, man, I feel like doing a swan dive on the tracks and getting splattered by the train. I think that would be appropriate. So I drank my coffee, and then I had to call my wife. That was the toughest part, to say, hey, I don't have a job anymore. Those were tough times. But I bounced back, got another job, all this good stuff, saved up money for a house, bought a brand new car for my wife, all this kind of stuff. So the reason why I say that is at the time, I thought that was the end of the world for me, getting let go from a company that I really liked. So, and now I see the brighter side of things. I think it's okay to go through stuff like that as long as you learn from it and all that. I still don't know exactly what happened. I actually had one of the managers call me and said, hey, I wasn't in on this decision. I have no idea what they're doing, why they did it, without my knowledge, all this kind of stuff. But I just want you to know that if there's anything I can do, if you need a reference or whatever it is, I'd be happy to give you a reference. Turns out, I don't think that company exists anymore. They let go of everybody in that office. Even the guy that brought me on, he was let go. So it was kind of a weird environment. Like, I'm serious. Like, everybody got let go. I had another recruiter guy call me and say, guess what? I'm like, what? You're like the top dog there. Anyways. So yeah, so there's my Friday story. So hopefully this helps you to toughen up a little bit, to not care what people think, because life is going to hit you hard and you got to be able to bounce back, all that good stuff. All those cliches. Anyways, thanks for listening to this. Hopefully you listened to this whole video and it made sense to you. If not, I don't really care. It's Friday. Go enjoy your weekend. Speaking of weekend, I'm actually going quadding on Sunday with my buddy. So we're going into the mountains quadding. He has like the best quads on the planet. Like, these things will climb a tree. That's how amazing they are. And maybe we'll do some shooting. Who knows? Anyways, see you later. Bye for now.